Hello. Things have happened. Harvests have happened. Pruning has happened. Just things. Butterflies have hatched and flown away. Let's go check it out. I've been severely neglecting these potatoes. And I'm beginning to wonder if they have Colorado potato beetles. Or if it's just been way too hot and I haven't watered them enough. The garlic was tickling me. I was like, oh, a bug. These shouldn't be ready until July, or if I want bigger potatoes, August. And it got really hot and I don't have a way to water anything over here without carting a watering can. So I've been neglecting these. And these ones I planted second and they've already got little blooms on them. But I'm wondering if it's because I didn't mound up enough dirt. Ooh, wasp. And it got too hot too fast for them. And then I didn't water them. These I kind of took care of. These I didn't. We're just gonna leave that wasp to its little wasp business. Hopefully don't disturb it. Anybody else grow russets from the grocery store? Have any ideas? No? I'm the only crazy one? Okay. Cool, moving on. Guess what's back? Driveway broccoli. I know you guys missed it, and we've got multiple locations. So this is the first location. Okay, that still counts. That's the same row. Another one. This is like a tree or something. And look, even more. Broccoli, broccoli, broccoli. I don't know where it hides. I don't know where it hides and why it decides to come up after I think it's all gone. Definitely not all gone. Clematis, that one on the left is just not getting very big and it makes me sad. This one's tall. I'm assuming it'll be next year before I get any blooms. Get it nice and established. Elephant ears. The elephant ears were over just a little bit and it was tripping my camera when it was really bright outside, so I had to scoot it over today. Lovely grass. Pulled some weeds and some dead things, but check out that zucchini plant. Let's get closer. Oh, volunteer zucchini. I know I have footage of me discovering female flowers. I don't know if I put it in a video yet, so if I didn't, let's put that there, here, right now. This is like a twin flower right here. See how it's connected, but there's two flowers? At first I thought it might be a female, but just two males stuck together. Oh, there she is. That's a female right there. Right there. And it's probably a zucchini if it's not yellow, because I only have zucchini and yellow squash. There's another one. So once those flowers open, there just has to be a male flower that's open at the same time, and I can pick it and pollinate it. So now we can watch for zucchini. Yes. Hell yeah. Okay, so if that was discovering, then I pollinated a zucchini this morning, and I'll explain that nylon stocking after I show you how I pollinated it. And of course, the plant has no males. That, my friends, is a zucchini, a female that would like to get pollinated. And we don't have any males to do the job, so we might have to go out back and see if we can get a yellow squash male to do the job for us. So here's the thing. This could turn into a hybrid zucchini yellow squash. We're gonna pick this. This is a spent bloom, but we're gonna go ahead and see if it'll pollinate. I could also use that male flower and pollinate with a pumpkin, and then it would cross zucchini and pumpkin, which I don't know that we'd want to eat that. So we're gonna go with the yellow squash male and see how it goes. Okay, I pulled the bloom part off so that all we have is the pollen part, and we just go ahead and do a little bit of this. But if you don't pollinate it while it's open, it'll dry up and it'll fall off. So that's why some new gardeners have trouble getting squash or pumpkins or whatever, because they're trying to let nature do its thing, and sometimes nature gets in the way. I was just watching what I was doing. I wasn't even watching where I was filming. Sorry about that. All right. So if you can tell, it looks a little bit different. I've deposited the male pollen in the female. And now we wait. All right, lovely, fun times, right? So I decided to put the nylon stocking on the one I pollinated because it's really close to the ground. It's right out in the open. I don't have a fence, or I do, but I don't want to put it up because this was just supposed to be aesthetic. It wasn't supposed to look like that. And this volunteered here. So instead of trying to pull it, and look at my hand moving in the shadow, instead of trying to pull it and move it somewhere, it's just gonna be right where it is. And I notated before that something nibbled on this. I don't know if it was caterpillar, squirrel, I don't know what it was. So that one probably won't open since it got eaten before it got big enough. But this one did open this morning, and I decided I didn't want to risk it potentially getting eaten overnight. And the nylon should be plenty big enough that it should be able to expand inside the nylon. So, moving on. The squirrels really love this flower bed, that little hole. But I wanted to show you that my milkweed is blooming. Hopefully it'll still bloom all the way until September when the monarchs are migrating. And hopefully I'll get another monarch. Ah, speaking of monarch, mine emerged and I set her free. So let's put that footage here. There's my butterfly, my monarch. I'm gonna release her now, and she'll probably just fly away right away. But I wanted to try to get it on camera. So I'm sad, but let's do it. She's still in the grass. Let me see if I can turn this around and get a video of her. You can do it. There she goes. Bye. Goodbye. Well, that was kind of underwhelming. I wanted to be able to hold her for a little bit, but I have some other butterflies. I guess I don't have butterflies yet. I just have a couple painted ladies. And they might be starting to turn translucent a little bit. So we might have a couple more butterflies soon. Better get the habitat ready. Pepper update. I have a couple of peppers. I'm assuming they're hot peppers. I did not label them well, and I should know better than to assume that I'll remember where I put things, because I do not. So yeah, I got a couple peppers, but look at this. I have a volunteer tomato plant. It's between the frame and coming out through the chicken wire, but since it's a volunteer, it gets to stay. So I think it's probably cherry tomatoes from last year. We'll see. It wanted to be there. So we're gonna see how it goes. I pruned most of the leaves that are down at the bottom of the plants so that I could see when there was peppers a little better. Slow start, and I think the heavy rains and the cold at the beginning, and now we've been super hot here in northeast Kansas. It's just been kind of a weird spring. Technically, I guess today's the first day of summer, so hopefully I'll get a few good harvests. Hopefully I'll have something better to show you next time too. Notice anything missing? The peas were dying, so the peas were here and I pulled them out. Long beans are here and here. Got some runners that need to be taught what to do. Come over here. Okay, that one's not gonna cooperate. Here we go. We'll get it there. Okay, so I did see a flower. There. I have a little tiny long bean. Isn't that cute? Cucumbers. They're doing excellent. I have pruned them down to a single stem. I cut off the suckers much like you would with a tomato plant. So I should have taken a before and an after so you could see how bushy and leafy it was before I trimmed it down. But I did it this way last year and it worked for me at the recommendation of another YouTube channel. So we're going with it again this year. Cucamelons. I put that one... First of all, I harvested some kale yesterday. I still need to do something with it. I've been saying that for like the last 5 videos. I need to do something with that kale. These are my cucamelons. They're drought resistant. They like the heat. So if you forget to water them, no big deal. They taste like a cucumber, but they look like tiny watermelons. And I have like 8 plants here. So we're gonna be swimming in cucamelons this year. Moving on. I'm kind of disappointed about this planter. I don't think I have enough attention to give to it. I've got some dill sprouted, but I really wanted it for my strawberries. And I don't have any. And I planted seeds and nothing. None of the seeds sprouted. It's just not been a good year for me for sprouting seeds. But I passed the elephant ears. I talked about number 1, didn't I? I don't know. We're going to go back and talk about elephant ears, and then we'll come back to tomatoes. I was so busy telling you that I moved the pot and that I have more broccoli that I forgot to talk about number 1. I don't know that it's entirely happy in the pot. It seems to have some spots that are dying off. But overall, it's still doing pretty good. Let's go check number 2. Number 2. Unrolling leaf right here. Really cool. Number 3. I wonder if number 3 is doing so well because it gets the least amount of sunlight. Maybe. I think that's why the kale lasted so long, because I had the peas on that side of the trellis that were shading the kale during the hot time of the afternoon, like right now. And it's probably, I mean, you can probably tell it's bolting. That's half the reason I decided to go ahead and harvest yesterday, but it's getting really tall in the middle. So I guess we're gonna try to get some seeds off of it now. No guarantees. Introducing drip irrigation. I spent the time yesterday when it was cooler to go ahead and install the drip irrigation that I've had in my garage And I must say, it's pretty handy. Pretty handy. But the hay that I have down is doing a really good job of keeping moisture in. So I watered yesterday just to test and see how much water, like maybe how long I'd have to have it on, you know, just preliminary. And what? Did I not tie that tight enough? Okay, well, nothing like fixing your plant when you're in the middle of a vlog. Okay. Yeah, so I did run it yesterday. They probably didn't really need it, but did it anyway. And this one is my tallest. If I were to stand next to it, it's probably 3.5, 4 feet tall. And it's got all these little tomatoes, which I'm pretty sure are big boy because I think those two are related. So we'll see. I'm excited about my tomatoes. I pruned a lot of these off as well. Still not sure what to do about this garlic. I probably should pull it. It's been in there since November. It should be ready in July or August. But let's harvest this. This is an onion. See how it's got a brown tip and it's all fallen over? Let's see what we have. Wah, wah, wah. Pretty sure all of my starts are gonna look like this. And I think it's because I added compost to the top of the onions instead of just barely putting them, you know, into the soil. So they were in the soil and then I added compost on top, which probably wasn't the best, but I'm gonna try to get compost earlier next year and see if that helps my situation. Okay. Weeds all around that. That tomato plant right there, I found over here yesterday and I moved it. Purchase. That tomato plant I found somewhere along in here and moved it. That same with that one. I found that tomato plant over there somewhere and moved it there. So I probably put the seeds there and they probably washed to other places and then I just replanted them. But it could be a volunteer from last year. Don't know. Those are going to be mysteries. Welcome to gardening. Look at all those. Holy cow. I'm gonna be making salsa in a little bit. I always do a jungle update. Side of the house jungle. The yuccas are losing their petals already. Still have poison ivy. You didn't have to ask. Look, you can actually look at my pool now. I cleaned it. Yay. Garden. Let's check the back. I accidentally killed all 3 eggplant plants. But maybe it wasn't me. Maybe it was the flea beetles. And then I treated for the flea beetles and the plants weren't strong enough and I don't know, I'm just taking the fall. This is watermelon. Right here. Still has its 2 baby leaves. They're kind of stunted because I put them out too early. Another watermelon that's kind of stunted. This one's doing the best so far. I think because it gets a good amount of sun and it gets a good amount of rain, but also I noticed it's very downhill, like water towards it. So it might be getting too much water, which makes me sad. But if it ever grows up high enough that it can start climbing the trellis, then I can mound up around it and try to direct water around it instead of to it. You know, it's got to cooperate with me at this point because if I pull it, it'll die. If I try to move it, it'll die. It's not strong enough for me to transplant. So pretty much I'm waiting right now. Yellow squash plant. I actually used a male from this yellow squash plant to pollinate the zucchini because my zucchini did not have any open males. And I have this cute little female yellow squash right now. It's gotten a little bigger since yesterday. It might still be viable. But I'm noticing that this part of the yard doesn't get sun until 11-ish in the morning. And then, what time is it now? It's 7 now and it's completely shaded. So it might not get enough sun. If you notice the difference between the zucchini out front and this yellow squash back here, it has to be the difference is the sun, because soil, same both areas, right? Same yard, right? I don't know, I'm not a scientist. This is my pumpkin plant and a lot of weeds that I need to take care of. I thought about this flower right here was open this morning. I thought about pollinating my zucchini with that, but I didn't want some Frankenstein squash. I mean, it's bad enough I used the yellow squash male to pollinate, but I'm really pleased with how it's trellising, how it's handling it. I don't have any females that I've noticed yet, but I'm just hopeful that I haven't decided if once it gets to the top, if I'm gonna bring it back down and then send it back up. That seems okay. That seems like a good plan. Probably will not happen the way I want it to, but one can hope. I have some marigolds that have come up over here. That's what this is. And this and this. That's a tree. Yeah, if you recall a couple videos ago, I said that I planted, there, some zinnias. I planted some flowers, but everything was just green and looked the same. Now they're actually starting to look bigger, so I can tell the difference. Fun. We got one more stop. Okay, I lied. Let's check the rain barrel. Nothing. Well, there's not even enough to cover the bottom, so you probably can't even see it. However, I hooked up another rain barrel at the bottom of the gutter, and that does have water in it. Let's go see if it works. I have rainwater, guys. That made me so much more excited than it should have. But let's see if you can see down in there. Oh, you can see it, and look at my water. That's exciting, guys. I did it. Bunnies don't belong in this backyard. Lots of dogs. Oh, you're a baby bunny. Go somewhere. I have dogs that will chase to kill. Go! The star of the show, besides the bunny, was this. Oh, it cracked when I did that. This is what an onion flower looks like. And I think dogs are peeing down here. So we're probably not gonna eat it, but I wanted to see it. I wanted to see how it goes. Like, here it is. This is how it goes. If anybody was curious, this is how onions make more onions. Biennial, which means you plant it and then next year is when you get the flower. So you gotta leave it in the ground for 2 years to get that. Okay, so pretty. Other than it being unbearably hot and actually getting the pool done, I have not cut down any of the weeds around my yard. So, you know, you prioritize. You do the rain barrel in the pool and you let the weeds go for a little bit. So maybe I'll get to the weeds now that I have a pool to jump in after. Hey, thanks for coming back and watching. You'll see me next time.